channel Stars in Palm, and I am Sandra, and I'm here making another video for you guys. Another Project Life video, and this is like my fourth attempt to record this for you guys because my iMovie crashed once again. Meh. But here I am, you guys, and I'm using my Take 10 kit and my Creative Retreat kit, which I love so much. As usual, I pick out where my photos are going to go, and then I choose where my cards are going to go. I don't have a plan for this other than, yeah, just knowing the color scheme that I'm going for. But everything usually gradually changes. And I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noise, but every single time I try to film this video, my dog tries to follow me, and yeah, there you go. So for this first 4x6 photo, I am adding a label from the Creative Retreat kit and this geotag, which I got from the Take 10 kit, which are super duper cute. And I was playing with the idea of where I was going to add these, but I really ended up liking having them kind of like somewhat together in the same area. I played with the idea at first of maybe putting it somewhere else on top of a photo, but it just looked weird and kind of awkwardy, so I decided to just add it to the photo itself where I wanted it, and I'm going to show you guys in a second how I did that. Again, I decided to use the same yellow chevron washi that I used in my last video, actually, to kind of just bring in the pop of yellow for this photo and kind of tie it all together. This photo is going to be on the right side next to the left layout that I did on my last video. And I will leave a link for the last video that I did in the description box below in case you guys haven't seen that one, but this one matches that one. And also, per usual, I will also leave links to the Take 10 kit and the Creative Retreat kit, which are awesome kits, as you guys know. They all have awesome stuff in them, and it's nice to just coordinate stuff to it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And it's funny to me that I'm using two different things from two different kits, but yet they go together so well. I did punch a hole there to add that geotag where I wanted it. You can use any standard hole punch. I just happen to have a Crop-A-Dile, which has two different hole punching settings, one smaller and larger, so that's why I ended up like playing with the idea of using the smaller one, but I ended up going with the larger hole. And then I added some journaling and then a pink enamel dot to that, which is from Studio Calico. And it ended up looking really, really cute. I really like the way that looked. I thought that it just came out simple, but with a little embellishment, so it didn't really need much. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, then you know the story of this typewriter, which isn't like the best story. I was really bummed out. I actually didn't get to get that typewriter, but I did get to take a picture of it before it was so rudely stolen from me. But I just kind of gave it to God. I was like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. It's not like it was my dream typewriter. It just would have been really cool to add as like a collection piece. So I ended up adding a gold heart cloud vellum, or not heart cloud. I don't know what a heart cloud is. A gold vellum cloud. And then, you know, the label that I cut out from that other 3x4 card, because we all have like a million core kits with way too many cards. So this is my way of kind of using my stash and kind of dwindling it down, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate having things just sit there for too long without being used, because it almost feels like you're never going to use them, which sometimes is the case. So I say don't be scared and cut into your cards, people. I did end up using some foam tape to prop that label up, and now I am using my Take 10 kit, and I thought it was really cute this month. This month. And those clouds I'm using are vellum clouds that I made that I'm using to match up the layout that I did last month. And a lot of people ask me where I got my vellum from, and usually I leave links to the stores that I shop at. I know that sometimes Joann's does carry it. It's like a local craft store. But also there's times that they don't have any, and I've also gotten packs of vellum from Blitsy every once in a while where they have a special. But of course they change their specials every week, so you kind of just have to keep your eye out for that. So that's basically my best advice to you guys, but I'm really obsessed with vellum, so you guys know I stock up whenever I'm able to. And now I'm just adding more of those glittery enamel dots that are from Studio Calico. And basically I'm just deciding where I'm going to put them, because usually whenever I add enamel dots, it's like has to look right to me, so yeah, just adding those because I felt like it needed just a little something more. And I did staple them down, the vellum clouds, and then I ended up adding just a little bit of adhesive because you couldn't really see the adhesive I used through the clouds anyway, so that's why I didn't bother like sewing them down or anything like that. And then for this card, this is from the Take 10 kit, and I just wanted to do something simple to this. I really like that this card leaves room for you to use mixed media because sometimes there's certain cards that are a bit over designed, so you know you can't necessarily add things to them. And in this month's kit you have like 2 cards that are really kind of those type of cards where you can kind of mess with them and make them your own and match them to whatever kit you are working with other than the Take 10 kit or whatever you have in your stash. So of course I went and added some watercolors, and I added some yellow and did kind of like a gradient effect. So it's very light, but it's really pretty. And now I'm just going to stamp on this. I was trying to decide where I wanted to add this faux stitching effect, and this stamp set that I'm using right now, or the stamp, is from the stamp set from the Creative Retreat this month. So it's really a cute set. You guys saw me use it in my last video, and that's the stamp set right there. But I ended up changing my mind about the placement and added it to the side instead because I thought it looked better that way. And now I'm just adding some more Little Bee washi tape with the gold arrows and stuff. And also, if you guys ask me a question, make sure that your YouTube channel is not on private, because a lot of times I can't reply to you if they are, and I know a few people who have asked me questions. If I haven't responded, it's because of that reason. So just make sure that you check your settings on that. So I went ahead and just added the journaling to this card, and I'm keeping this card pretty simple, just adding a few little embellishments and obviously just a little enamel dots, because to me it just gives it like just the right touch a lot of times when you want to keep your card simple but still add a little something to it. And I did decide to use the stamp again from the Take 10 kit. It has this little like dash with a heart line kind of little thing going on, so I decided to just add a little bit more mint color to this card by stamping it, that little stamp. And it's really tiny, so it's not like you can like, it makes a huge difference, but like I really like the way it looks, so I think it's all about the small details. And those enamel dots that I used on that card are actually from Michaels and their Recollections brand, so I'm happy I'm finally getting to use those because they're really pretty colors. And then on this card, I was just tucking it in because it moved to my washi tape. The Little Bee thin washi tapes don't kind of stick that well at times, so they kind of move around just a little bit, but not enough to keep me from using them because they're really cute. For this next card, I am just rounding the corners of these pictures. I wanted to add 2 pictures to this without having the card look like too, I don't know, heavy, if that's the word for it. And I'm just adding 2 pictures of one of mine and my boyfriend's favorite sushi places that we like to go to. And I had taken these pictures and I thought they were really cute. And I thought I'd do something different just by corner rounding them and then adding some adhesive and sticking them together like that and layering them so it almost looks like something you would do in your app, like when you merge 2 photos together. And then I knew I wanted to add this label that comes in the Creative Retreat kit that's super pretty and a minty color, but I did want to layer it and have some pink show through, so I decided just to use one of the cards that I have an extra from the one of the core kits I have and just layer it on that so that I can just kind of mat it with some pink going around. I am determined to just kind of make a dent in the stash that I have, because it's like then you can make room for new pretty things coming in. So yeah, I really like the way that that looked, and I liked I had gray going on throughout my last layout, so I kind of want to keep a consistent color going through it. And gray is like a great neutral color for layouts because it almost goes with anything. And this is just a yellow enamel dot that I had in my stash from Pink Fresh Studio. They make really pretty enamels, so I have like a few different color packs of those that I think one of them is actually also from a Take 10 kit, a past Take 10 kit. So, and for this card, I was going back and forth, which is why I left it while I did the other 2. I had this picture I wanted to use on it, and I really liked that card itself, which is from the Creative Retreat. It's just a really pretty color. So I decided to take out my We Are Memory Keepers glass mat so that I could cut like a little square into that card. And obviously I didn't want to do it on my desk because it would cut through with the X-Acto knife, just so I could tuck the card into that, just because I didn't want to cover like the effect that had going on, which you totally could if you wanted to, but I just didn't want to do that. and it's just actually a picture of my planner, which I thought was really cute for Valentine's Day, so it kind of goes with the February theme. And so I just wanted to add that in there because at times I kind of forget to add pictures of whatever it is that I'm crafting. So I would definitely recommend taking pictures of those kinds of things because it's just fun. And then I have this gold vellum, well, I was going to say washi, gold vellum paper that I wanted to back behind that just because I thought it would look pretty and like add just like a little pop of something. So yeah, I did decide to add that. And then unfortunately for part of me working on this, I am off camera, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm keeping this card really simple either way, and all I did was really just add some puffy hearts to this card, which I'm deciding which puffy hearts to add so you can kind of see them there. And like I said, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I get into my own little world when I do Project Life and forget that I'm filming. So I had one of those oopsie moments. But I pretty much kept that card pretty simple, just added a little circle gold heart thing that you will see that I just punched out, and then I just added a little puffy heart on top of that. So it's pretty simple, so you guys didn't really miss too much with that card. But yeah, I was kind of like a little, um, I don't know, off camera while I was filming this time around, so hopefully it's not too bad. But I pretty much left that as is. Like I said, I really love that card from the Creative Retreat Kit, so I didn't really want to take away too much from it. I'm kind of learning to embrace the products that I use so that, you know, I'm adding to them without also taking away from them, like by adding too much. So if that makes any sense. And for this card, I'm really trying not to add too much to it, but it kind of takes on a life of its own because you never know where your card is going to go till you start working on it, and I kind of changed my mind around. I was going to add that like little washi strips that I cut off of a card. It's like a faux washi look, but I ended up making my own little piece of faux washi by putting some chevron washi tape on some white paper and then cutting it out. And then I was originally going to place it there, but then I changed my mind and luckily was able to take it off before it was completely glued on there. But it did leave a little bit of residue, but it ends up getting covered up anyway, because I end up kind of just changing around this card to fit what I need it to. And yes, my layouts this month have really been inspired by Valentine's and love themed, which is something that just happens naturally for me because I'm a romantic and I love Valentine's Day, so any excuse to use hearts, you know. And so I'm using more of these puffy hearts that I used in my last layout. I just love these puffy hearts and they kind of go perfect. And then I had that cloud that I punched out of cardstock that had some watercolor on it, and I thought it would go perfect actually with this. Um, and I was trying not to add too much, but I really love the way this card personally turned out. So I added that little strip that says "Love You," and that's from the Crate Paper Notes and Things collection. It's a 12 by 12 that I cut down, and now I'm just adding some of these hearts in like little miscellaneous places, so it looks kind of like it's raining hearts down on this card. I did also decide to sew down that cloud just to add some more texture and dimension to it, and I really like doing that, especially now that I've had my sewing machine ready to go. And basically, I really love the way that card turned out, and I just flipped up the edges of that cloud to give it a little bit more dimension, and it actually holds its shape in the pocket. So that's just a little tip there for when you're sewing things down. You can kind of just flick them up, and they will stay that way. Now for this next card, I was playing with the idea of like adding like a side vertical kind of thing going on, but I ended up changing my mind, as happens most of my layouts. And right now I'm just cutting out that banner because I know that I want to just add some dimension to the banner. So I figured I'd cut it out and then re-add it. So you'll see me kind of just backing that up with some cardstock, obviously, so that it is able to hold on to there. And I really liked that card, but I did not like the flowers in the corner, so that's why I decided to add that 3x4 card. And I really loved that 3x4 card because it felt like it brought some uniformity to my layout because it has all the colors that are going through it. And it also, to me, reminds me of the card that I used in my last layout where I had the Super Bowl stickers on it, like with the circles with all the different colors except like the flower version of that, if that makes sense. And then I was also playing with the idea of having some vellum on there somewhere, but I hadn't quite decided what I wanted to do yet because, like I said, it kind of just comes together as I go, whatever I think looks nice to me. So Project Life really is about personal preference, you know? Um, and then I found this piece of pink vellum that I had in my stash, and I really liked the way that it looked behind that picture of my nails. because it's like not a perfect square, and it kind of like looked nice to me that way. I kind of like things that are wonky, so I added that on there, and I'm using my new Tombow adhesive, so I might do a review on that. So far I really love it though. And then of course I'm just adding some gold staples to that picture, and then I'm backing up this banner with some gold foil that I have left over from that 12 by 12 sheet that I picked up from Michael's, but I'm sure you could find it at other places. And I just wanted to be peeking out from this banner, so I didn't want to add like too much. I just wanted it to have just a little bit of that gold aspect. Now I'm just pulling out my Creative Retreat Alpha stamp set, which you guys know is like my new obsession. And like always, I leave links in the description box below to the Creative Retreat and the Take 10 kit, so you guys can check out their websites and all the neat stuff they have for you guys there besides kits as well. And I love the way that that looked, and I'm starting to document my nails and things more in my project life because I'm really enjoying doing that, and I figured it'd be just kind of a cool thing to add there, at least my favorites anyway. And I'm just using my Mint Studio Calico ink and also my yellow and pink one just to make it go with how I did that in my last spread, you know. Like I said, a word of the day is uniformity. Just adding, you know, making it kind of like have areas that kind of bring similar looks to it. So, and I just added some foam tape on that banner just to have it raised up, but it's just a slight raise. It's not like too much, and it fits perfect in the pocket. It doesn't like jot out or anything. And then I'm using again the stamp set from the Take 10 kit, which you guys know I love this month. Since I'm all about script myself, I was like, oh, this is super cute. And I'm just using my VersaFine because it just gives me really good impressions. Like I usually don't have to worry about having to double stamp it when I use this ink. So a good ink really does make a difference, you guys. So if you are not getting great stamp impressions, I would definitely look into using perhaps a different ink. Whenever I'm doing anything with quotes or words that are like thin like this, I love to use my VersaFine. So yeah. And I said, do what makes you smile, which I thought was perfect because it always makes me smile when I do my nails. And then this is my little wood veneer box, one of them, yes. And I decided to add some more of those wood sequins, which are from Chic Tags, but I actually got from the Creative Retreat. They came in one of their kits one of the months, so. And I believe they have some of the past kits available on sale last time I checked, so I would check out their website just to see if there's any good deals on there as well. And I really like the way they look. They kind of do the same thing that enamel dots do. They just add a little extra something something. Now I'm just adding some journaling to this card, just about the nail stuff, you know, random little journaling scribbles, but I liked doing that and just adding that. And basically, besides the journaling, I am going to add some light blue kind of minty vellum to that, where I notched the corners off with the corner punch that I had, but you could also just do that with a scissor or a circle kind of punch if you have it in your stash. And I'm just adding some of the adhesive to that, and this adhesive is really great because you can't really see it behind vellum. So far I've noticed that, and it looks really nice, and you can totally read the words through the vellum, so it kind of just adds an extra little something without being too much. And I basically called that card done. It's kind of simple yet still has like little details, so I really like the way that that came out. And then for this next card, I was kind of going back and forth on what to do, but I did decide to back these both of these photos with my 3x4 cards that I had in my stash because I wanted to add a gray border around all of these. And since I had the extra gray cards in my stash anyway, I said, you know what, let's do this. I then decided to add some of these Studio Calico Alphas that I did use in my last layout as well. It's going to be across from this one, so I figured I might as well use them again and kind of just tie the layout all together. And anyway, they're just so cute and like the prettiest color of pink, so I figured why not. And I just decided to lay them down and not add any pop dots, but just kind of put them in a whimsical fashion. And then I'm just adding these down with some of my adhesive, and then I did cut those clouds out that you see there from another 3x4 card, and then I also cut out a vellum version in that light blue, which I just did by tracing it with a pencil over the card before I cut those out. So it was kind of really easy and in a fun way to create kind of like a little custom element to this because I felt like it needed more of that blue. And I did decide to sew these down instead of gluing them down, but I was just adding just a tad bit of adhesive so that when I run them through my machine, I'm not going to have any of like that little movement going on around there. Just make sure you don't add too much of adhesive so you don't gunk up your needle if you're thinking of doing a similar type of effect at any point. So yeah, I pretty much was trying to keep this card pretty simple, but while still adding some kind of like texture to it, and I really like So in the end, I did decide to add some enamel dots to this just to give it a little extra something, but I really did just want to keep it kind of on the simpler side. But I love the way it looks, and I really love this layout, and I hope you guys did too. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying these types of videos. Leave any questions or comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for the support I've had from people buying my stamp set. I really appreciate it. It really just motivates me. And thank you guys again for watching. And I will have more videos for you guys really, really soon. Be sure to check out the links in the description box below to all these awesome kits and places. And yeah, thank you guys again. Bye!